What's up, YouTube? I got a love story for you. This is about my mom and dad. My mom and dad were teenagers when they met. My mom, she was just a hippie, had nothing to her name, short order cook, bartender. My dad, he was a musician, drug dealer. He sold acid and LSD back in the 70s, and they used to call it Elvis. It was a sugar cube. They would drop LSD in these sugar cubes, and he earned the nickname Elvis, so they called him that. But they met, and they fell in love with each other. My dad, dedicated musician he was. He liked rock and roll, and he liked women, and they got married and had me. 1972 was when I was born, and they had a tumultuous relationship because he liked women, like I said, and he was out in the bars playing music, rock and roll and blues. He actually, at one point in his career, early career, he was a member of the Lefty Diz band. He's a Chicago great. They wanted him to sign a contract with them, but back in those days, my dad felt that he was the only white guy in the band, and he was like token white guy, and that's the only reason they wanted him. He wasn't allowed to explore and improvise. He was to play what they gave him to play, and that was it. And that's not what he was about. I mean, that would have been cool. He would have made a name for himself. But he decided to drop out of that. He went on and did other things. He's a musician his whole life, but yeah, his wandering eye got him in trouble, and my parents divorced about when I was 2 years old. My mom was a single mom raising me on a bartender, short order cook pay back in the early 70s and into the 80s. My dad still did his thing. He had a full-time job, but he was mainly, musician by weekend. And he picked me up every weekend. It wasn't every other weekend. It was every single weekend. And Friday through Sunday night. And I had a great childhood, though, even though it was from a broken home. My mom did the best she could, and growing up in them days, we were like feral children. I mean, you give us a pack of now laters, a pocket knife, a lighter, and a couple bucks. We're good for a week. Come home when the street lights came on, type of deal. No helicopter parents back in those days. But exciting, and we learned how to grow up quick back in those days. So anyway, my dad, like I said, he picked me up on Fridays, but he was a musician, so I spent a lot of my weekends at my grandfather's house, because he would pick me up Friday night. We'd go have dinner. He'd drop me off at Grandpa's, and he would go play a gig. And he picked me up Saturday morning. We'd do our whole day together. He was there for me, but he had his job to do too. But yeah, And then Saturday night, he would drop me back off at my grandpa's house, and he would go play his gig. And every Sunday, that's how I found church. And my grandfather was a God-fearing man, and taught me about the, God ways. And he was a very good man. So I had a really good structural. I mean, it sounds like it wasn't structured, but it really was, because I had my mom, who I learned that, on the little bit that she made, she could make it work. And on the weekends, my dad, the work ethic in him, he worked full-time job Monday through Friday and play all weekend long, and also take time to take care of me when he had, the in-between times. Good father. My grandfather, he taught me a lot how to be a good man, and what it takes to be a good man and a good husband and a good Christian and this and that. I mean, I wasn't a holy roller or saved at that point or anything like that, but those things, you pick up on as a kid. They go along with you through the years. So, yeah, I had a good life, and they all taught me a whole lot together. My mom, till my dad died, she was still in love with my dad. She couldn't be with him because of the way he was, but she never fell out of love with him. And my dad had a love for my mom. We spent the holidays together. He would come over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. My dad's mom would be there. My mom, my dad, and every holiday was spent together. My dad would take my mom out on dates here and there occasionally. They'd go out and just have a good time. I don't know what happened behind the scenes or anything, but that's none of my business, right? But yeah, I love my parents. I miss them so much. I lost them both very young age. My mom passed away at 51 years old, or 55. My dad died at 51 years old. So my dad died, I was just turning 30. And my mom died, I was just turning 35. Lost them both. My dad died of a heart attack. My mom had cancer. I miss them, man. I miss them so much. And all you people out there that still have your parents, I don't care what kind of relationship you have with them. You need to talk to them as much as you can, and just because when they're gone, man, they're gone. And ever since my parents died, I felt like an orphan. They're not there anymore to talk to. I can't just pick up the phone no more. Things will pop in my head like memories, and I won't remember names or places, and I don't have them to call and rely on them to say, tell me, where it was or who it was. And I miss all that. I missed a lot because they died so young. They barely got to know my children. I mean, they were very young when they both died. So yeah, my point is, man, if you are lucky enough to still have your parents, give them a call. Give them a call. Tell them you love them. I'll holler at you.